So, Kathleen, I haven't introduced you properly because you also have an extensive knowledge in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine and acupuncture, far as I read up on. And what it brings me to, what you said, brings me into this notion of Ayurveda, like if women, bleed with the moon and, they would exactly do that because they should be bleeding on the dark moon, actually. And the full moon is therefore the most to express themselves. So, hey, these things align so well. And sometimes they don't align so well in life. We get kind of thrown into different waves of things and then we don't bleed as such, and it doesn't follow that through. But yeah, if you are on your ovulation cycle, that makes totally sense, around those full moon days, definitely, to interact with people. Strongest energy ever.
Oh, and the beauty of our bodies, right? To be in sync with the cosmos and our place in the solar system. Like we're designed like this, we've evolved like this. How beautiful. Isn't it
Hmm.
incredible?
Yeah,
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 it's the
yeah,
magic.
yeah. And we're running so much against it, like we're trying so much to function beyond all these rhythms, and then we want advice from those rhythms and then we don't live them. And that's what you're trying to give, nevertheless, with the idea of giving different energies in the month, certain colors on your conscious calendar. That's a product again that Kathleen Whalen has produced. And yeah, so how does that work?
Ah, well, it's so simple. You don't even have to know astrology. I mean, that's what's amazing. It's so funny. I mean, you were asking, like about funny little things. I get these stories all the time. The colors of the calendars are so simple. Green, yellow, red are the basic colors. There's also purple in there and a couple other little indicators. And the colors are what you would imagine. Green is go, yellow is be aware. There
Mm,
can be more distractions on the yellow days. And the red day, there's usually only one a month, is the self-care, self-nourish day. So it's very simple. And I have clients whose, husbands or children are like, they're like poo-pooing it or they don't, whatever. And all of a sudden, they'll just be like, I don't know, mom, was it a red day? It felt like a red day. Like they've never looked at the calendar, but they're like just like guessing what the colors are because they had whatever day. And they're like, I don't know. Oh, it felt like a green day. Honey, was it a green day? I get these reports back all the time.
I must say, I probably, if I would talk to you on a regular basis, I would be that. I've been, as I said, I've been following your calendars and your advice and emailing. And I'm always, so at times, I don't want to have advice, and when and then it's like, oh, that must have been a green day. And then I'm looking for one of your emails, and it's like, yeah, that was a green. It's like that,
And
yeah.
that's the way to use it, right? Like some people use it every day, but it's really to cultivate your own intuition. And it's not about any system being forced on you. It's that, because sometimes green days have so much energy that some people are like, wow, that was almost too much. Like it was so much that it didn't feel like, oh, the perfect day, because they felt like they had to be called to do a ton of things and they felt overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's really meant to allow you to check in. Like the yellow day, I feel like is the most crucial one to almost be even more aware of, is because those are the days, I'm not kidding you. I could give you examples where I'm like, I go against my own calendar, like, oh, it's a yellow day. I'm going to go ahead and try and run that errand. 5 hours later, I'm still stuck on the other side of town in a
Yeah.
storm, in a traffic jam that
Yeah.
couldn't get to a bathroom. Like just hilarious,
Yes.
hilarious,
Yes. Snap. Snap. That's what I wanted to say because I've been trying to, as I've been inviting you to this podcast, I thought I make it a practice to see how I relate to these days you're initiated. And that was exactly my on take of it. Every time I hit a yellow day, it was like, yeah, but I should have known this is a yellow day, so I should have taken more time. Don't, jam pack my calendar with these things. And it really felt like that. And may I ask you, how do you stand on that side of, because the consciousness creates the reality. So,
Mm,
you know,
mhm.
on one hand side, you're saying you're reading this from, we still don't know exactly how that works. Maybe you can give more insight.
Oh, glad to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then on the other hand side, it is like if somebody kind of keeps tapping you with these kind of notions of, but this is a green day, green day, green day, like you start to think that way. So yeah, what's your on take on
Oh, this is huge what you brought up, right? Because
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are like, I don't want the calendars because I don't want anything to tell me or interfere with my experience. I can co-create my reality. And
Yeah.
this is true. Our consciousness is what helps us perceive the world and cultivate our experience of the world. It's really meant to help us shift our perspective into awareness mode, into observer mind. It's not imprinting on us that it is a yellow day or a green day. It's, oh, I'm having a bad hair day. Things are scattered. Oh, I can take the changes in the day so much easier when I know it's a yellow day. I just laugh my way through the day, because it's just like, oh, well, that happened. It's yellow day, and so it allows for perspective. And it's not about imprinting anything. It's to allow us more space in our day to almost shift our perspective and be able to have more resilience. And if a green day wasn't the perfect day, it's all the more reason to look back and say, well, where were the silver linings? Because there really are some secret gifts that came on the green days.
Mm, mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for the advice on that one and the free gift to us right now. um It's I like what you're saying, since my big subject is becoming present, like present in being. And present in being is to me an is a method of becoming more aware and more grateful and more in the moment. So what you're giving me with what you said about yellow days is exactly that. It's taking the I, me, mine out of the conversation. And maybe for some people, it's first of all a relief to say, like, okay, this wasn't an ideal day on a planetary level. And on the other hand side, it kind of allows us to not always think we should be fully functioning, and also pass back our burden to the greater consciousness, to the universe, and become more servants, as they say. In some lineages, they talk about becoming a servant to the greater consciousness. So yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh, I love how you just said that. It
Mm-mm.
is, I mean, ultimately, it is about actually cultivating our faith. That's the irony. I'm using this social science to kind of help sort of give an awareness of what the energy might be. And you get to interact with that in your unique way. And with, I love so much of everything you're about in cultivating the awareness of being, because that in and of itself is the richest part of our experience of being human.